Hey everybody, happy Thursday. Hope your week is going well. Can we just start this update by celebrating? Last week we got to see Caleb Hill get baptized, and the week before that we got to see Kaylee McMullen and Morgan Schilt get baptized, as well as Carter Harris and his wife Madison. Just awesome to see these people coming to know Jesus and giving their lives to him. So let's just start this update by celebrating that. Let's also celebrate that we have hired a student minister. His name's Jonathan Parrott, and him and his wife Sydney will be joining us beginning in May. Actually, June 6th is when they're going to be here. Just had a baby. His name's Grayson. He's adorable and cute, as all babies are. Can't wait for you guys to meet them. Can't wait for him to join our team and just begin doing ministry here in Troy. So would you keep them in your prayers as they make this transition from where they're at now to coming here, and then just pray ahead of them for what they're going to do alongside of us and with us here at Troy Christian Church. Last but not least, we've also got some more celebrating to do. The mandates as it relates to COVID are soon to be lifted. Chris mentioned this and sort of addressed this last week at the beginning of the service, or beginning of the sermon time, I should say. And we're just going to hear the comments that he had at that time.
So I want to just spend a minute here addressing the changing culture as it correlates to all of the changes related to COVID-19 and the mandates in our state. You know, a week and a half ago, our governor announced that all the mandates would leave on the 2nd of June. So we have done our best throughout this mandate, or throughout this pandemic, to observe the different mandates that we have that are going to be going away. And obviously that's brought for many of us just a number of different tensions and struggles. Nevertheless, in the spirit of being consistent, which we've tried to be, there's some changes that means for us here. So on Sunday, June 6th, all of our mandates in terms of wearing masks and social distancing, putting chairs in between us, all of those things are going to go away here in a couple weeks here in the church, all right? Also apply to our classrooms, different gatherings of the church, those type of things that will all change. Now, obviously, people are still free to continue to wear their face coverings if they would like, and you can still create that distance just by choosing someone who's already sat down and creating some seats between them and you if you would like to do that. Now, we're aware also that the CDC has changed their guidelines and things for people who are vaccinated and not vaccinated, and we've already seen that obviously playing out before our eyes here in our church family and certainly in society as well. And so we just roll with those things even as they go. But what shouldn't change, okay, and what we're not going to change is just our mandate to continue to love and honor one another. I mean, society's changing, and there's no reason to think that on June 2nd the changes are going to stop, right? But throughout this, we've said, let's honor one another. Let's love one another. Let's give preference to one another, even at times when it creates some personal sacrifice. And so as we have throughout this encouraged even those who are more conservative in all of this to respect and honor those who are less conservative, we're going to watch that change a little bit, right? And so I'm just going to encourage those of you who are less conservative now to encourage and honor those who continue to be conservative. Again, it's all about the kingdom, right? We can't lose sight about it all being about the kingdom. I mean, there are all kinds of viewpoints about what this should look like, but the scriptural viewpoint is really pretty clear. Let's love one another. Let's respect one another. Let's honor one another, even as the tensions and everything around us continue to change. And this is why, right? This is the point. Each life that God has created is valuable and made in the image of God. And that's what ought to be reflected in our attitudes and in our actions towards one another, even when we disagree with other people. And you've heard me say this before, and I want to say it again. Let's not sacrifice any opportunities to communicate that value to people and to communicate God Himself to people for any kind of a political agenda or a personal agenda or a social agenda. right? There's a higher value in all this. Paul says in Colossians chapter 3, verse 17, and whatever you do, whether in word or in deed, do it all in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him. Let's take and stay on the high road as best as possible, even though certainly everybody in here has been frustrated over the last 15 months. Let's keep our eye on what's really important.
So there you go. Now that the governor has made his decision, we're going to follow in line with that. Again, as Chris said, if you want to continue to wear a mask, feel free to wear a mask. If you want to continue to create space, continue to create space. But we're going to be removing those mandates here at the church starting June 6th. Well, I hope you have a great weekend, a great rest of your week, great weekend. I would love for you to join us here in the building at 9 and 10:30 on Sunday or at 10:30 on Facebook.